Good evening, everyone. How are you? Unconvincing. You doing all right this evening? Good, good. I had the opportunity to walk around and say hello to some of the folks, and if I didn't get a chance to shake your hand and say hello, I just want you to know that I'm really grateful for your presence here tonight. Really appreciate you being here in the house. Yeah, it's a special evening for me, and I hope it ends up feeling that way for you. I think there's many reasons to really appreciate what it means for us to be here today, for us to be here this evening. You know, one is in commemoration and acknowledgement of the struggle of a great many, and a struggle that is a long struggle, a struggle that has a long history, but also the remnants of those ways of being, the remnants of those actions, the consequences, like so many things in life, reverberate on like pebbles in water. And so part of our coming together for me is a way of continuing a healing that continues to be needed. One of the things that I really see as a helpful aid to healing is community. And it's actually one of the things that I've found quite remarkable since I came to know the people in Buxton especially, but also in this area more generally, that there is, I get this sense that community is really important to people here. Do you think that's true? I just want to make sure I got it right. And I think that, you know, it's funny, I was remarking, I called my wife in between the 1 p.m. show and this show, and I said, these people are incredible. I was talking about Brian and Shannon's kids. I said, they don't even know us, and they just hugged us. And, you know, like there's something that is, you know, that's funny about that, but there's also something that is so very deep and profound about that. It's such a deep sense of welcoming. And probably many of you have been touched by that family in some way. Such a deep, deep sense of welcoming. So this is a place where I feel like we can continue to grow together as community. Maybe we can even enjoy ourselves and make the bonds that bind us together even deeper through what we do here tonight. And to begin, this is one of my favorite songs of all time. And as a child, I was made to sing this song. And there were definitely lots of songs that I didn't like growing up that I was made to sing. And this is not one of them. This is a song that I just kind of knew from the time that I had first been, and this would often be in a church surrounded by other black people who were, well aware of the history that had brought them to the moment that we find ourselves in. And just like someone said, you know, what do you like about being black? And I said, well, you know, we are incredibly resilient. We're improvisers. We make do. We create. We are inventive. And, you know, one of the things that I think of when I think about this song is like the perseverance, that ability to move through incredible challenge and to come out and thrive through that is, it's sort of remarkable. And so this song for me, while it is written in a way that speaks to a very particular experience, I think it speaks to the human experience, it speaks to the human spirit. Everybody in this room probably at some point or another has felt challenged, has felt like you found it hard to find a way to get through. You know, we all find tragedy in life. If you live long enough, something's going to happen. You're going to lose somebody. You're going to find moments in life where you feel like it's going to be hard to get through. And this is one of those songs that I feel like it just really helps me to know that I'm not alone and that I stand on the shoulders of people who persevered through incredible challenge. And so I invite you, especially those who know this song. I'm looking at one person in particular. Somebody in this room was harmonizing with me yesterday. We'll see what happens this time around. The song is called Lift Every Voice and Sing by James Weldon Johnson. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Verse 2. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the days when hope unborn had died, yet with a steady beat have not our weary feet come to the place for which our fathers sighed. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading a path through the blood of the slaughtered, out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. Follow me. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Thank you. motherless child, you know. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel so all alone and I'm a long way from home. Precarious setups made for mishaps. I ride the wagon bound for relapse. Lord, can I get an amen? And some hand claps for testimony, true story, ancient fabled allegory. The ones I've loved, the ones I've left behind, they sometimes leave me crying, and I don't mind dying, 'cause fleeting is the time. And I move across this land, bumping into things that can't be held with hands. Only felt like parting words and final goodbyes, 'cause fleeting is the time. Fleeting is the time. No reasons why, no reasons why. Who knows these things? Not me, not you. Maybe some king of kings, it seems. Fools are we. Sages, psychos, jesters, pirates, and mystic winos. Baby dolls and rusty nails. Wind-blown trees and half-blown sails. Praying to the Lord when all else fails, because fleeting is the time. And we swing low like busted canopies. Everything is wet and you're far out to sea. Yet I still heard you scream, somebody hold me. 'Cause fleeting is the time. Fleeting is the time. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, you know. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel so all alone, and I'm a long way from home. Woo! Yeah, it's funny. I sing. I've been able to sing in many places, and to sing these songs in this community, particularly for the people that are gathered here, it's a different thing for me. There's something that's more special about it. I know that the story of my family is shared by many people in this room, and that imbues it with a different kind of meaning. You know, even the path to Southern Ontario for many of these people was about leaving their families behind. You know, sometimes I feel like a motherless child, like I'm a long way from home. And, you know, as funny as it is, it actually feels like it also reflects my own life. I live in Vancouver, British Columbia right now. My mother and my grandfather live in Detroit, Michigan. And part of why I chose to live there is because I felt like there were more opportunities for me there. I had grown up in a place that was really quite violent, like Detroit in my neighborhood, in particular community, in the 80s and 90s. There was a lot of hardship. There was a lot of poverty. There was a lot of violence. And you all not being far, I'm sure you read and heard all about it. And so for me, there's this funny way in which I felt like I was getting free in a way when I was able to leave that community and that neighborhood. And yet, there's still this tie that binds me, you know? And so, like, while I can enjoy where I am in life and the things that I'm able to do, the places that I am able to go, and also the community that I live in, But there's always a part of me that feels like I wish there was a place where my mother and I and my grandfather could all be together. And sometimes I feel like I wish my family had come to Buxton. I'm not kidding you. I definitely had that feeling where I was like, there's a way in which there's something so beautiful about the community and the families that were able to live there and grow there. And I'm sure, it's a complex story. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Gotta be rain sometimes. And yet, I do see a health in the community, just the way that people are with each other, that I feel envious of. But I feel like I'm kind of like I can come for a visit and be welcomed. So that's also a good feeling. You may hear me throughout the night. I have a fixation on time. And the last song, Fleeting is the Time. And this next song is entitled My Time Ain't Long. And when you get to spend time around generations, you realize there is a limited time offer on this thing. And some people look at that with a sense of morbidity, like they think it's just like a drag. But I think there is this other side of that coin that actually makes us appreciate each other more. We appreciate the time that we do have more. If you knew that there was you could just see the same people the same way all the time forever, in some ways you can take that for granted. But if you had in your mind that you only had a week or 2 months, and you knew that was the finite amount of time you had, you'd do everything you could to spend the time with the people that mattered to you. You would go to all the places that really mattered to you. You'd do all the things that were important. And so I'm going to keep bringing time up because I want y'all to have that kind of thing in your mind so that the people that you are around or next to in this room, you realize the preciousness, the gift of being able to spend time together. And I mean that as a larger community too, because there's no telling that we'll all be able to gather in a room like this again, That's why we pray. That's why we have faith. But we also know that nothing is promised. So this next song, My Time Ain't Long. My time is not long here. I gotta lay this body down. I got the hounds on my trail. It's the cross before the crown. We're gonna die anyway. Let's make a difference. It's hard to tell what's real. It gets harder every day. The direction's so clear, but obstacles are in the way. We're gonna die anyway. Let's make a difference. I know that we, in our silence, we've been asking. I know that we, in our silence, we've been praying. I know that we've been asking and praying. Time draws near, form circles, draw plans, choose love over fear, sing our songs and join hands. We're gonna die anyway. Let's make a difference. I know that we, in our silence, we've been asking. I know we have lost our patience for your deception in life. No more alibis, no more alibis, no more alibis, no, no. Spirits below and above, show us some guidance and love, 'cause we're the lost generation, and we have lost our patience for your deception in lies. No more alibis, no more alibis, no more alibis, no, no. Spirits below and above, show us some guidance and love, 'cause we're the lost generation, and we have lost all our patience. See here. I have been trying to make connections from the past to the present and to the possibilities of the future we might have together. And in that last song, I said, you know, hey, we got a limited time offer. Let's do something with this time. Let's make a difference in the lives of the loved ones that we have, but also in our communities that are larger. And I see Brian and Shannon doing that all the time. Reaching out, I mean, I can't even imagine how far the ripples are that you have touched, you know, so many people. So much history, so many stories, people coming from all over the place to come and visit here so that they can learn and share and take those stories and keep them moving forward. This next song is part of a larger project called Freedom Singer. And I was in Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. And a woman came up to me, and her name is Carolyn Smards Frost. And she handed me a book. Now, I'm just getting off stage. I'm feeling pretty, you know, I'm hyped. I came off stage. And she comes up to me with a book. And I'm like, this is weird. This is unusual. People don't usually do this. She said, you said you have an ancestor who came through the Underground Railroad. I wrote this book. I think this might have relevance to you. And I was at first like, weird. I'm gonna just throw this book over here. And then I got back to the hotel and I picked up the book. And it had that sticker on the front that said Governor General's Award. And I was like, oh, this lady's serious. I gotta read this book now. So I read the book. And it tells the story of Lucy and Thornton Blackburn. And they escaped from slavery. I think it was Kentucky they came from. Made their way up through to Detroit. Then stayed for a time in southern Ontario, and then eventually made their way to Toronto. Would start the first taxi service in Toronto. When I read this story, first of all, get the book. It's amazing. Like, I mean, it's compelling. It should be a movie. It's a really great story. I've got a home in glory land. So when I'm reading this, at the beginning of each chapter, there are these epigraphs. They're like little poems, or like they seemed like little bits of verse to me. It's little pieces of songs. And when I read that and I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, these are the songs that probably accompanied my great-great-great-grandmother when she escaped from slavery and went into southern Ontario. She went to Amherstburg. Her name is Kizzy. Can we say her name on the count of three? Kizzy. 1, 2, 3. Kizzy. Thank you. So yeah, I ended up, you can keep the track going. I like that. Right? This is Noah Walker, by the way. Tanika Charles over here. Yeah, so I got this book, I started reading, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like our family stories. My mom, my grandmother, everybody always telling me about our grandma Kizzy. And I was like, I gotta do some research and find these songs. And that's ultimately what took me to hear. And that's why I'm standing right here. And this next song is part of, it's one of the songs that I found in my research. I'll tell you now that it did not have rap verses in it when I found it. It's from an old periodical. Many of the songs that you'll hear later throughout the night are songs where I was able to find sometimes no musical notation, but I would find pieces of verse. I would find poems, or I'd find old song lyrics, and I would take those and I would make songs with them. And so this next song is a version of that. Sound the trumpet over mountain and sea. Proclaim glad tidings, 'cause the slave is free. Sound the trumpet for me. It's time we stand up and tell the truth to the hungry, downtrodden, and forgotten youth. We waited long enough. The cheat is up, it's heating up, our time ain't long. It's time to do more than just sing songs. I want love, sacrifice, dedication, and relief for refugees without a nation. It wasn't that long ago when my great-grand was choked by yokes and at a loss for hope. But with the help of the underground, she made it safe and sound. Went from lost to found, hear the sound of the people like thunder are moving. Free men are coming and liberty's call. Pride in the power of the tyrant is breaking. Millions are rising, millions are rising, millions are rising from slavery's thrall. Unfurl a banner and swell a chorus. Time to recognize all the ones who open doors for us. Like Martin and Harriet, waiting for the chariot to carry us home. Working for justice in war zones. We still got work to do. Reparations overdue for catching hell from the prosperous few. Some say we'll get hours in the afterlife, but I'm in love with this life. Cut through the strife, singing like my life depends on it. Not for salary, but to be free. If you believe in me like I believe in you, for the whole and not the few, sound a trumpet for me so we can all be free. Sound a trumpet for me so we can all be free. Sound a trumpet for me so we can all be free. Sound a trumpet for me so we can all be free. Sound a trumpet for me so we can all be free. I don't know if there's paper towel in the house, but there's a little accident on the stage. Just water. Thank you. Let's see. I also really want to thank Cara Eastcott for bringing all of these different people together to make this curated series of events. We met serendipitously through mutual friends, and I just continue to be inspired and enamored with Cara, who is just like a real gift to any community that she enters. So, The next song is a song that's called Song of the Fugitive. And the lyrics in this song are, they're unaltered. They also do come from one of the old sort of periodicals. I very specifically, like there were a great many songs that I could have used, but I only wanted to find songs that would have been sung or written at or around the time when slavery was still happening legally in the United States, in parts of the United States, and when Canada served as a refuge. So that's a relatively small window. And so I wanted to, because I was really attached to this idea of like having the songs that Kizzy sang. What did Kizzy sing? What are songs that she might have heard? And so this next song is called Song of the Fugitive. And I'm going to go off the microphone, but I think I'm pretty loud. So if it becomes a problem, then we can change things. I'm on my way to Canada, that cold and dreary land. The burdens of slavery I can no longer stand. I said, no, 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 no. I now embark for yonder shore, sweet land of liberty. The vessel will bear me over, and I shall soon be free. No more to dread the auctioneer, or fear master's frowns. No more to tremble from the baying of the hounds. I said no, 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 no. I said no, 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 no. I said no, 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 no. Said no. Oh, Father, Father, won't you help me? Oh, Father, Father, won't you help me to be free? Oh, Father, Father, help me. Yeah, I'm safe in Canada, my soul and body free. My blood and tears no more shall drench the soil of Tennessee. cast kneel from my eyes. To think of my friends and kindred as slaves to live and die. I said no, 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 no. I said no, 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 no. I said no, 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 no. I said no. Oh, Father, Father, thank you for setting me free. Oh, Father, Father, thank you for helping me. Oh, Father, Father, thank you. In the journey to find these songs, one of the things I realized is that a lot of the songs that were forgotten were songs that really touched on some of the things that were really, really hard. Things that really upset people. And it's hard, I know, as grandparents and as elders, we don't often want to talk about the worst thing that ever happened to us. We want to be hopeful. We want to look to the future. We don't necessarily want to reflect on the things that were the hardest. And I think some of these songs were lost to us because of that, because they reflect some of the greatest indignities to humanity. You know, we can be awful to each other. We can be beautiful to each other, but we can be awful to each other. And I think it's useful for us to remember, to be reminded, not only of the good things, but of the sad things, the hard things. When I was in Nova Scotia at the archives, I ended up hearing the voice of a man. His name is William J. Riley. And William J. Riley was born during the period of slavery, but was recorded in the 1940s by a woman named Helen Creighton. Do you know Helen Creighton? She was a song collector, sort of a musical...
Musicologist.
A musicologist, there it is. And she went around collecting all the songs that she could find in Nova Scotia in the 1940s. And this man was he was 90-something when she encountered him. Is there anybody who was born in the 1940s in the room? Yeah. So I think sometimes what we think is that people who were enslaved, like that's an ancient history. It's so long ago that it's unimaginable. And yet there are people who are in this room who could have talked to someone who was enslaved.
Wow. Wow.
So it's good, I think, to have that understanding of time. William J. Riley will be heard in this recording that we're about to play for you. And he's talking to Helen Creighton, but he's also talking with his daughter. And his daughter is trying to prompt him to sing some of those old songs. And you can tell he doesn't really want to sing some of them because it hurts.
Yes, it's interesting. Yes. There was an old colored man, what did you say? You start to tell your story again. Tell your story again. There's an old colored man, what? Want to hear you, Mr. Riley?
Oh, well, don't stop me when I stop.
Yeah.
I get mad. This man, he was in slavery, and he was a cotton picker, a cotton makes things to pick cotton of slavery, and they were had a woman child, and the old slavery holders would go around one night to buy the child. So to buy the child, and the woman child. And she got up in the night, 12 o'clock at night, and took the child and put clothes on and tied the clothes back. And
tied the child to her back.
There they were, the gig trail. And God had it so.
Child be sold. Well, you can sell the pig, you can sell the cow, never the child be sold. Sell the pig, you can sell the cow, never the child be sold. Well, you can sell the pig, you can sell the cow, never the child be sold. Horn will blow, cotton does grow, driver blow his horn. Horn will blow, cotton does grow, driver blow his horn. Well, you can sell the pig, you can sell the cow, never the child be sold. Well, you can sell the pig, you can sell the cow, never the child be sold. When you hear the church bells ring, ring in a dream. Well, you can sell the pig, you can sell the cow, never the child be sold. Well, you can sell the pig, you can sell the cow, never the child be sold. Never the child be sold. Never the child.
Them songs will never die. No, you're right. And it's only the older generation can sing them. Yes, quite. Well, that's why we
No more auction block from me. No more, no more. Your old poor song was dying then.
Yeah.
No more auction block for me, many a thousand gone. Jesus died on Calvary, oh yes, oh yes. Jesus died to set me free, thank him evermore. No more pies of salt for me, no more, no more. No more pies of salt for me, many a thousand gone.
No more auction block for me. No more, no more, no more auction block for me. Many a thousand gone. No more driver's lash for me. No more, no more, no more driver's lash for me. Many a thousand gone. Ooh. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Ooh. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No more crooked cops for me, 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 me. No more, no more, no more penitentiary. Many a thousand gone. No more poison land and sea. No more, no more, no more early death for we. Many a thousand gone. No more hypocrisy. No more, no more, no more child poverty. Many a thousand gone. Again, again, many a thousand gone. Again, again, many a thousand gone. Many a thousand So I've been doing too much singing on my own, and it's time for you to join me again. Don't look intimidated. Everybody got, the energy was like this, and everybody's like, it's okay. Your part is really simple to catch on to. All you gotta do is say, mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna stop saying it in a minute and hear you, so come on with me. Mm-hmm. Now it's your turn. Let me hear you. 2, 3. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like it. Let's try that again. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. One more time, because I just like the sound of it. Y'all gonna make me wind it up if you keep sounding like that. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. So I wanted to just tell you a little bit about this song. And because I feel like for many of the folks who made their way into Southern Ontario, that I feel like it's difficult to really have an understanding of what it takes to be in a world where people really feel like your humanity does not need to be respected, does not need to be honored. Maybe some people in the room feel like they understand what that is. But I think the level at which people were made to suffer degradation, the level at which people's, you can sell the pig, you can sell the cow, like that's the level at which people saw other human beings in their midst. And like, what does it take for someone who is living in a space where so much of the world, the infrastructure around you is telling you that you count for naught, that you don't matter, that you are insignificant, that your life, you don't deserve the same kind of kindness or patience or love or generosity? What does it take to come from that space and to be like, not today, sucker. Not today. I'm gonna claim my full humanity in this moment, and I'm leaving.
Right.
Even if it's to risk my life, even if it's in a space where I will maybe no longer be able to see the people who are closest to me. I just can't handle no longer this treatment, this inhumanity. Takes incredible fortitude. And I'll tell you, Kizzy was 15 when she did that. Now we don't know who she might have been accompanied by, but just think about a 15-year-old who's like, I count, I matter, I deserve to be seen and heard. I deserve dignity. I deserve kindness and patience. Like, that takes such incredible strength, and I think sometimes we forget that the young people, we often want to, talk down on teenagers because we think that they're too rowdy. We think that they're too boisterous. But often they're the only ones who are brave enough to actually stand in the face of something stupid and call it like it is. Often the youth are the ones who are willing to actually speak truth to something that as we get older, I'm 46, so I'm definitely not a teenager. But sometimes they're the ones who are willing to speak the truth to things that we have kind of just coalesced. We've gotten over, hey, it's okay, it's all right like this. So this song is a song that's meant to get you to understand how until we're all free, until we can all walk around in a way where we all can have dignity, then you need to be agitated, like you got a rock in your shoe. You know how if you had a rock in your shoe and it was aggravating you, you get that rock out right away, wouldn't you? And that's how I wanted us to think about injustice. That's how I want us to think about inhumanity. It's how I want us to think about like when our neighbors are suffering, when we see somebody who doesn't have a home, when we see children who are in poverty. Like, that should be like a rock in our shoe. We shouldn't be able to sleep like that. We should be worried about the welfare of those people in our community who need help. And so, with that, I'm going to see if you remember your part. All right. I like it. One more time. Hey. Cease to agitate, we will, when the slave whip sound is still. When no more on guiltless limbs, fetters cut their circlet grim. When no more hounds thirst for blood, scouring the thorny Georgian woods. When no more a mother's pleading prayer quivers on the southern air. On that day, we will be family equal, born and free. Dawn will come, night will cease. We'll rejoice, minds at ease. For that day we'll work and wait. That's when we'll cease to agitate. That's when we will cease to agitate. That's when we will cease to agitate. That's when we will cease to agitate. Well, here we are today, still pushing for equal pay. And these treaty rights don't hold. They're shiny like the Judas gold. And the stain of blood still remains, a mother's only son slain. And our youth are crying out for more, continually being ignored. On that day, we will be family equal, born and free. Dawn will come, night will cease. We'll rejoice, minds at ease. For that day we'll work and wait. That's when we'll cease to agitate. That's when we. You can sing that part too, come on now. That's when we. Oh yeah, come on now. That's when we will cease to agitate. That's when we. Will cease to agitate. That's when we will cease to agitate. That's when we will cease to agitate. All right. So I know it may be hard to understand sometimes when I'm making up the lyrics and when they're old lyrics, but like that last song, Cease to Agitate, Song of the Agitators, that's a song from 1850s. And you know, when I can insert lyrics that say like, hey, you know, women in this world don't make equal wage to men, straight up, it's just the truth. Same job. Most of the times, greater capacity, to be quite honest. And I just say that because it's so obvious when I say things like, you know, how long ago was it when women got the right to vote in Canada? Not that long ago. Probably, what, less than 100 years maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is like, what we often feel like is that we want to get to the plateau of work we need to do on ourselves. But you know what that's like. When you think you have plateaued and you just like sit back and you start watching Netflix or whatever the show is and you start eating the chips and you start doing this thing, you're like, hey, I've reached, you know, whatever the level is, I don't need to do no more work, right? What happens to your house when you do that? It starts to look like hell. And your neighborhood eventually will look like that too. You know, it's a continuous work. I know we don't want to do that, but you know how it is. Like, that's also like when we don't ever stretch our bodies, when we don't ever do anything that is arduous for our bodies, like even walk down the street. You know, we start to atrophy, and not just in our physical bodies, but I also believe in our spirits, in our hearts, in our minds, in our emotional bodies. When we cease to reach out to other human beings, when we cease to care and to do the hard things about maintenance of relationship in our communities, they start to crumble. So, yeah, we're not going to cease until all of us can feel free. So this next song is a song that I just totally wrote on my own. But it's one of those songs that I feel like really fits in with this whole theme that we're talking about. It's also Cara's favorite song of mine. She's like, you gotta sing this song or I'll beat you up. I was like, no, I don't want to get beat up. So we're gonna sing this song. And I offer it to you also as like, you know, if this isn't the song for you, but maybe there's another song, when you find yourself up against it, when you feel like it's really hard to get through, you know, there are songs that we've always sung, you know. I remember actually talking to Aunt Cleta, and I said, Aunt Cleta, you know what? I said, we wouldn't have made it through if we didn't have those songs. She said, no, we wouldn't have made it through. And so, I mean, like, I really believe that in my heart and in my soul. I really believe that we need songs. We need to sing. We need to be together. That's the stuff that actually keeps us whole and sane. That's what keeps community strong. And so I hope that everybody here is able to find a way to find that for themselves. This song is called Roll On, and I wrote this song when I was feeling down. I was feeling low. And I soon realized the beauty that was around me, and it gave me a great deal of strength. It was the beauty of the natural world. I went and I sat by a river, and it felt like this river was talking to me. And it was saying, son, you can do this. Hold strong, hold strong. So let's do this. I sang my song to the river in the valley below, in the hopes it might wash away my sorrow. And as I walked away, I heard the river clearly say, roll on, my son, roll on. Roll on, roll. Could almost die. Roll on, roll on. Even though it's hard to know, roll on, hold on, roll. Even though it's hard to know, roll on. Hold on, roll on. Roll on, roll on. Roll on. I sang my song to the river in the valley below, in the hopes it might wash away my sorrow. Did as I was told by generations of old. Roll on, roll on, roll on. Even though it's hard but you gotta roll. Hold on, roll, even though it's hard to know. Roll on, hold on, roll, even though I know it gets hard sometimes, but you gotta roll. Hold on, roll on. So I'm going to put down this microphone. And this is the last song. And maybe before I properly put it away, I'm going to say how much gratitude I have to each and every one of you for coming here, for taking a chance. I don't think you probably knew exactly what was going to happen. You know, but you all came here and you took your precious time. You know, I talked about time. I really believe it. You know, time is a precious thing. And you took your precious time and you decided to spend your precious time here with us. I'm so grateful to all of you. You know, it's the truth. You could have done a million different things, but you came here. And part of what I hope you feel in coming here is that there's a sense that we are together, that we're connected, that separation in some ways is an illusion. We need each other. 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 We can't survive without each other. We need each other. And this next song is all about that. You know this song, many of you.
Okay.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, then we'll know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Now please, swallow your pride. If I have things you need to borrow, for no one can feel those of your needs that you won't let show. I said, call when you need a friend. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Lean on me. Hey. When you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. For it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Call me, sister.
Oh, yes.
Just call on might have a problem that you'd understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Now, if there is a load that you have to bear, that you can't carry, well, I'm right up the road, Vancouver. I'll share your load if you just call me. All together say, call me when you need a hand. Won't you call me? Call me. Won't you call me? Yeah. When you need a hand. Won't you call me? Call me. Won't you call me? Call me. One last time. Call me. I'm just going to introduce these fine musicians one more time. Tanika Charles. Noah Walker.